Everyone, this is Bischu from Houston Outlaws, and welcome to another episode of After the Match presented by HEB. Alright, let's get right to it. Let's talk about the match last week. It was quite something. Let's ask Jake and Jung. What was the team atmosphere like after that kind of win? Disbelief? Screaming? How was it like? Even though I know exactly how it was.
I don't remember how Jake reacted. Actually, I was actually screaming. I was like running out the room, and I went into the players. While I was running towards the players' room, I'll be like yelling "C9, C9," and then it was very crazy. It was very wild.
Yeah, that was my recollection of it too. Just like disbelief, like thinking, "Oh, there's no way we can win this," and then somehow we bring it back. And when we did win, I knew it was a C9 instantly. Like even before the screen came up, I was sort of in disbelief for a few seconds, and then freaked out and ran after Junk to the players and celebrated. It was pretty amazing for us.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of back and forth between everyone really is like, oh, we're gonna lose, and then we would just have like copium moments, and then it was like, no, like don't leave the room yet. And then yeah, it actually happened. I think like Piggy was like about to enter the room because he thought we lost, but Topher managed to stop him in time. But yeah, it was pretty insane. 정원아, 너는 어떻게 생각해? 그러니까 이게 질문이 뭐였냐면은 그때 아틀란타 상대로 이기고 나가지고 이제 팀 분위기 어땠냐는 건데 그쪽에서 어땠어? 우리 코치 여기 스태프 쪽에서는 완전 미쳤었어.
저 다른 애들은 기억 안 나는데 저랑 승현이 형은 소리 지르긴 했었는데.
Lastro says like in the player side, he doesn't. It was like at the heat of the moment, so he doesn't remember very well, but he just remembers him and Iris just like screaming. So it was overall a good moment for Houston Outlaws, definitely. All right. Next question. In the context of the final fight against Rain, Angie asked Lastro, getting nano boosted as Lucio doesn't happen often, but when it does, what pointers do you have for maximizing the impact of the nano? 이제 이건 정원이한테 하는 질문인데 그 마지막 싸움에 대한 질문이고 이제 나노 루시우가 자주 일어나진 않지만 근데 만약에 루시우가 나노로 받게 되면은 해야 되는 게 뭐냐고. 그러니까 어떻게 해야지 제일 나노를 잘 썼다고 얘기할 수 있냐? 루시우가.
그냥 상대 팀 죽이는 거 빼고는 없긴 한데 상황에 따라 다른 것 같아요. 약간 저희는 그 마지막 상황에는 저희 둘밖에 없어가지고 일단 무조건 살아줘야 됐기 때문에 잡는 것보다 일단 사는 것만 집중했어요.
So Lastro says it's situational. It's situational because realistically, if you get nanoed as Lucio, unless like you happen to like ready Lucio somebody and kill somebody, it's like realistically you can't really do anything else. So, but the situation for us was that it was just like Iris and Lastro, and they were just like focused on staying alive. So like nothing else really mattered. He was just like hoping for the best really, and you know it did happen. So yay. Next question. Puff asked Jake, what was it like watching that final fight as a coach? Oh, it's like similar question, but he also asked, is it same vibes as when you were a player?
I mean, it's always different as a coach, but it's like that. Like I think like winning in an unexpected way like that, there's like a feeling that is the same regardless of what you're doing in your position, and the team is like just like the how far it is. Like you think you're gonna lose, oh no, it's really getting bad, and then you actually win in the end is like such a swing. That emotional swing I think is like the same regardless of what your position is, what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean I definitely agree too. All right, so we're gonna move on to some more question. Wicked Turtle asks, for Lastro, you play for 3 different Overwatch League teams now, all in NA. Has it been difficult adjusting to living in different countries/cities? 이제 정원이 질문이고, 이제 너가 커리어 하면서 오버워치 리그 3팀에서 다 뛰었는데 다 북미고, 이제 환경이 이제 팀으로 새 팀으로 갈 때마다 환경이 많이 바뀔 텐데 이제 적응하는 게 힘드냐 아니면 이제 어떠냐고 적응하는 게.
그냥 다 똑같은 거 같아요. 어차피 한국 음식 여긴 안 되구나. 아무튼 뭐 그냥 뭐 먹고 살만하기 때문에 어딜 가든 다 괜찮은 것 같아요.
So Lastro says at the end of the day, like it's all about the same. Like there's as long as like we're getting some Korean food, he's like fine with it. But yeah, it's just like business as usual. It's just part of the job. Adjusting is just part of the job. And Tanplan asks to everyone, I'm just gonna ask this because we are all thinking it. Do you think Junker Queen could be the next meta, or more of a niche pick? What do you think, Jake?
I think her kit does look really strong right now, but and I've also felt that there's some heroes who like do really well against her or have a really good matchup against her. So I do think it will be strong enough to see playtime for sure, and it's just a question of like how it's going to affect the swap game of how you have to switch between your heroes, and for the players who are good at it, does it open them up to be able to beat more compositions or different styles that they couldn't beat before. So I think it's going to be really hard to evaluate because there's also a lot of other changes in the patch, and there might be another patch before we actually play on that patch after Midseason Madness. So in the end, it's like I'm not like trying to like figure it out right now. I'm just sort of like when I play Pugs on the new patch, I'm just sort of treating it as like for fun and just try things out. So it's too hard to predict, but I think right now she does seem just to have the strength as a hero that will make her see playtime. But I don't see her being like 100% pick dominance. I think she's too like there's just heroes that are too good against her. So I think in the end she would get counterpicked and you'd have to switch, but that doesn't mean she won't see play.
Yeah, I mean even just in beta, even though it's not exactly like a good replica or like of what a competitive game or Overwatch League game might look like, but even just like pub games, it's like very clear when Junker Queen can't do anything. Like, it's like very clear. You get so I feel like it's definitely gonna be like map dependent more than anything. You have any ideas, Junk? Oh,
마이크 꺼져 있어요.
Mike's muted.
The meta, I guess. I don't even try. It's always different. Then once you actually start playing, everybody thought it was that map, but in the end, it was like a Lucio map or a Zen. I don't know. It's like no one actually. Yeah, who knows what it'll be? But I think Junker Queen has potential.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of the early meta guest takes just kind of end up on like our age like milk. Honestly, like I feel like even if you're like a very successful coach, it's like so hard to just being able to like guess what the meta is gonna be every single time. It's just too hard. You need data. 정원아, 너는 어떻게 생각해? 이제 질문은 그 뭐지? 정커퀸이 진짜 나올 것 같니?
그 대회요?
그냥 전체적으로.
아마도
다음 메타에 기여가 많이 될 것 같니?
제가 봤을 때 한 달 뒤에 나오지 않을까요? 그 나오고 나서.
Yeah. Yeah, to Lastro, like honestly, like not too sure. Like maybe she'll get playtime, but nothing really clear from us. All right. For Lastro, Had asks, since you have been playing Lucio so well in Overwatch League, how difficult was it for you to pick up Lucio into your hero pool? Did you have to practice extra hard to get better at it? 이제 이건 정원이한테 하는 질문이고, 이제 너가 오버워치 리그 이 팀 들어오면서 루시오를 하게 됐는데, 이제 루시오 이제 좀 마스터하는데 시간이 좀 많이 걸렸냐? 얼마나 어려웠는지. 그리고 이제 뭐 어떤 특별히 연습한 거 같은 게 있냐?
그냥 하루 종일 경쟁전에서 루시오만 했던 것 같아요. 브리기티 메타일 줄 알았는데 루시오 메타여가지고 좀 많이 당황했어요.
So for him in the first place, he was like kind of caught off guard because we really thought it was gonna be like a break meta. So he had to pick Lucio, and I actually remember this. I remember him just being like during the practice area, just telling like, everyone on the team, to the rest of his teammates, to be like, yeah, just avoid me. This is my account. Avoid me. I'm only gonna play Lucio. I'm not swapping. Good luck. And he just like kept spamming Lucio in rank. But you know, good for him. Good for him. Like honestly, that is a way to practice for a player. Like it's just like. This sounds terrible from the how should I say it, the competitive environment of ranked, but for players, like I think that's like honestly the best way to learn a character. Like just keep playing in like every single scenario.
It's okay.
Yes, it's already doomed. It's already doomed. And Angie asked everyone, what's your favorite non-ranked game mode? Like team deathmatch, capture the flag, no limits. Jake?
FFA deathmatch.
Oh yeah.
I only like the one that is like limited heroes, so nobody can play like a Roadhog or something just horrific.
I'm definitely guilty of that. How about you, John?
Play Roadhog in deathmatch, you got a problem.
Dude, I mean, I played like Brig when it first came out too. I was like bringing in the initial
old Brig and deathmatch. That's something vicious.
It was just like it wasn't even a game. How about you, John?
I just like the arcade games, the gun game. I like the gun game in the arcades actually.
Classic. Gun
Rhine Invasion, 20 Rhines. That's the good one. Rhine Invasion remastered, legend game.
Do you guys actually like play those? Like really special
I
ones?
have played a lot of them actually.
Well, what kind of what else is there? There's like the Doomfist parkour.
Dude, people made like Mario Party in Overwatch Workshop. There's no
Yeah,
limits.
I played that one. I played that one with my friends.
There's no limits.
Yeah, I really do like how creative people can be with like Blizzard use maps. Like since the dawn of time, I think like, even like just from StarCraft, they've always had like great use maps. 정원아, 너는 딱히 있어? 그 경쟁전 안 할 때 그 아케이드 모드 같은 거 따로 하는 거 있냐?
아니 그냥 경쟁전 아니면 오버워치 안 하는 것 같은데.
Okay. Lastro says he either ranks or he does not play Overwatch. Yeah, I respect it. All right. Let's see. Last question. Wano Creed asked the coaches, do you plan on Piggy having a bigger role and exploring more into his hero flexibility? What do you think, Jung?
Piggy is the best tank in the world. He can play everything. He'll play every day.
Oh, champ.
Yeah.
Heard it here first, everyone. Piggy's a flex god. How about you, Jake?
Yeah. I think like Piggy's a really good player. We can always utilize him in different ways. Like, I don't know. We don't really see players like in the way of, like, oh, this guy exists for this hero. Like, in the end, it's just whatever like the meta is. We'll just put in the best roster of players we can to like play that meta or play the strat we think is the best for our team. So, in the end, it just always depends on how the meta is and like how the swap game works, and then from there we'll have to figure out what's the best roster we can play and we'll play that. So, it's sort of the way we look at it is it's not really up to us in a way, even though obviously it is our decision in the end. It's like we're trying to make a decision from a practical perspective of like what's the data shows is the best and what our personal preferences are from like how our team plays well, like what's our team's biggest strengths. So we'll just always play the player who fits that, and that can definitely be Piggy in a ton of circumstances.
For sure. And that's it for the questions for this week. But let's just quickly talk about the next week's match. We're playing against Nixel and Boston Uprising. Actually, Crypto has a question for the coaches. Every opponent deserves respect, but some weeks you prep for one team like Atlanta last week, and others it's two like Boston Nixel this week. And how does that change the planning and prepping? What do you think, John?
We will usually take it equally, but if we think like we need to work on more specific maps, we might like try to have more practice on it and things like that.
Yeah, like each opponent is different, but in the end, you just have like more time to invest. If you have one match in the week, you have more time to invest in it. But this year they made it balanced, so if you have one opponent, your opponent also has one opponent, so it's fair in that sense. And then since we have two opponents this week, our opponents will also have two opponents, so they'll also have to consider two things when they prepare. So in the end, it balances out, and in the end, you just try to prepare for both matches as well as you can when there's two opponents. And I do think like New York and Boston are both opponents we have to take really seriously because they both done well against like relatively better teams recently, with New York doing well against Fuel 2-3, and then Boston doing pretty well against Mayhem, losing 2-3, but still like making it close enough where we do have to take it really seriously, and I'm a big proponent of taking every match really seriously and playing to win as dominantly as we can, both for seeding in Hawaii and also for final playoffs.
Yeah, I think what I like seeing in my previous team so far is like, let's say if we had two matches a week, just because like time is limited, I think there were a lot of times where we just like, okay, like we have to like play team A, we're just not gonna worry about team B. Like team B, we're just gonna invest all our time in the team A because like that's like the really important team that we want to beat. So I think I feel like this is the same case for a lot of other teams too. Just if you have like two teams, you're definitely gonna like spend way more time preparing for like the better team a lot of times. But
and on your opponents.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that concludes today's After the Match. Thank you guys everyone for coming, and we'll see you guys next week. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.